Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you on, you can see it right there, a picture-perfect day here in Hollandale Beach. We've got 10 races for you. You can see the wind on the flag there. Nice little breeze here today. Really good, strong card today as well. We're on a fast main track, a firm turf course, some good maiden races too. A lot to look forward to in that Rainbow Six with Ron's ticket coming up a little bit later in race number 5, $175,000 in the estimated jackpot.
It grows quickly around here,
Sure
and
does.
we are fast and firm, so that helps a lot in some really good turf racing.
Yeah, looking forward to that later on because, as Samantha said, the finale is a really good one. The race number 8 with the sprinters is really good as well. I think the pools will be big, and the picks are competitive today, the horizontals, and none more so than the early pick 5, and we can take a look at that now, and those pools have been very, very healthy. There's already about $31,000 in that pool, and here's my ticket, $36. You can see, look at this. I know it's very early, but look at the betting board right now for race 1. That is tremendous, and that's part of the reason why I'm going 6 deep in the opener, and we'll get to it in a second here. In race number 2, my top pick is the 9 in there, and that is right up front for Jimmy Toner. I'm going to get Jimmy Toner home. He had a little bit of a struggle this winter at the championship meet, a barn that usually is very, very prolific down here. In race number 3, I've got the 7 on top, Star of the Beast for Antonio Sano, who's had such a strong year as well. In race number 4, the 5 on top for me, Turbo. Looking forward to seeing him now second off the long, long layoff coming back. And in race number 5, we'll go to the 4, De La Cruz for Christophe Clement. Going to be a pretty, what I would think is going to be a pretty stiff favorite in Inherent Promise. But we'll go elsewhere, and those are the 2 on a $36 early 5 ticket. And we'll get into this race now. The opener is a fascinating race on the Tapeta. We're going to go 1.70 miles here in these 12.5 maiden claimers. 3-year-olds and up. We're just going to scratch the AEs. I don't know about you. I lost one 4th place horse today. Out of all the scratches, I didn't really have much of any significance.
I lost a few, but not
Okay.
any top picks. So,
Yeah, which is very, very good, and that we like that. We can have some confidence today. We're all over the place, and it's predictably like that. And you're going to go to the 5, Vinny and Leo for Fernando Abreu, who just keeps on keeping on after another W yesterday.
Yeah, I was worried that it was just kind of getting a little bit cold, that barn, but it looks like we're back on track. This horse is taking a drop in class, as are a lot of these horses. But this one, I felt like with the couple of months of a layoff last time, came back and ran okay. I think that there's just going to be a better effort here today.
Yeah, and the drop, and that was the first time on Tapeta, last time on the barn switch as well. There's reasons to like this horse, and you can see I've got him in 4th. Titan for me, for Arundel. I liked that stretch out last time on the Tapeta, and I think that's probably, as good as anybody's done in here.
Yeah, it is. And this horse has a little bit of speed,
Right.
which that helps a lot.
Same angle with the 6 as your top pick. Awesome win. Got to the Tapeta and routed last time and ran a lot better, I guess, at least early on.
Yeah, this horse was a bit disappointing in his first few starts, but the morning works were not really that great. But I feel like now this horse is with his friends. You get Joe Bravo on. This horse showed some speed, which is good, so I think that will also help.
Joe took some clubs out of the bag yesterday. Nice ride on Busy Moline, who looked loose, and Joe opted to take back, and that was the path to victory. Very cagey ride there, and Joe has been in very, very good form, not only in the championship meet, but really to start the Royal Palm meet as well. We'll go to race 2 now. It's a good one on the turf here. It's an optional claimer for the fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. It kicks off the early pick 4 as well. It's just a run back of my early pick 5, so I'll tweet it out. Edwin Gonzalez will ride the 4, Queen Karima. The 7, Sandra D, and the 10, Weekend Rags, are both out of this race. My Lady James, you're going to have to try to wake this one up because the turf race 3 back wasn't all that pretty.
It wasn't, and I've come to figure out that I think I'm trying to be too crafty on the grass lately because the grass is just playing so firm that I feel like horses who maybe are not a horse that would take to a grass course like Keeneland or somewhere else with a little more give in it. Those are horses that are not running well, and those are the ones I lean towards because in my head I'm thinking, okay, these are 2 grass horses, but that has not worked for me the past week and a half, so a horse that she's got a lot of speed. She runs well on the Tapeta. This is a very hard and fast turf course here. maybe just pop her on the front end.
Yeah, and the race on January 13th in the championship meet was a really good group. Ivory Moon is a nice filly for Brian Lynch. I'm on the outside here. I don't have your pick anywhere. You don't have my pick anywhere. Right up front, chased and tired routing last time. Now we're going to cut back to one turn. That was her first turf start. I like the cutback here for Jimmy Toner. Should be a square price too. She was 56-1 last time.
Yeah, she was, and I liked that race too. American Retro. That was that horse that Ian Wilkes I got on the grass. I really liked. So I think it's a good race that plays with these.
Yeah, we both have some interest in the 4. Queen Karima, as I mentioned, Edwin Gonzalez is going to get aboard here. But when you're 2 lengths clear on a fast, firm turf course here at Gulfstream, you're supposed to see it out.
Yeah, you are. And a Hurricane Debbie was supposed to run, I think, yesterday in the limestone, but was scratched off the grass. She was injured at Keeneland, I know, but scratched due to off the grass.
Right.
That was a tough race, and she got in tight.
Yeah. She's going to be part of the pace. She might even be the quickest of the quick in here. The 3, no interest in that one. She's the lone 3-year-old. Arnold Delacour, if you're not familiar with him, very sharp trainer, going to add LASIK. She's going to come over from Wolverhampton. She ran in the Cheveley Park, which is one of the biggest Group 1 races for 2-year-olds in all of Europe.
In Porta Fortuna, that horse was second in the Breeders' Cup juvenile
good point.
turf.
Yeah,
so that was a strong race, but she also didn't run very well.
She did, and they're asking a lot of her now, taking on older horses off a layoff, first time in the barn as well. Let's go to race number 3 now. We'll go 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. Here it's a maiden optional claimer. The Florida breds don't have to be in for the tag. These are strictly 3-year-olds in here, and you're going to go with the firster now for Bobby Hess Jr., Friends with Feudal.
There are a couple of first-time starters in this race. Let's take a look at the work of this horse. Bob Hess can pop with first-time starters on the Tapeta. Now, this horse is on the inside. This is a 46 and change work you want to see on the Tapeta. Sometimes you see these super quick works, and they're whipping, they're riding, they're scrubbing. This horse was in hand very well the whole way, and then just took off. And look at that, 46 and 4. I mean, that's solid, and this was on the Tapeta.
Sure.
I like this work a lot coming into the race.
Now they paid $80,000 for the St. Patrick's Day colt. Now they did that back in 2022, so we'll see what's going on today. Tote board race. We say this all the time with these first-time starters. Let's see the stats. He's over 12 at firsters, but that work. You have to kind of dig to find it, but it definitely sticks out. It's right there on the page. Clearly, Star of the Beast is going to be a short number in here. It's Antonio Sano. It's Edgar Zayas. And that Tapeta race in what was his first start on the surface will bury this group if he can run back to it.
Yeah, and that was a day I have in my notes that it was a really hot day, and it was a tiring Tapeta. So I just felt like they were spinning their wheels, and East Boston Benny took the lead and never looked back. And we talked about that yesterday. The splits were just slower because it had been so warm here the past couple of days, and this colt, this strictly the one to beat here.
Now, East Boston Benny, we didn't really know if we liked that race, remember? And he did back it up.
It was a quick number,
because
too.
He was coming out of a $25,000 maiden claimer. He backed it up. I'm surprised you don't have the 2 Bouchero anywhere. This Bouchero colt for Ronald Coy with a huge work on the 23rd, and we know the Boucheros just love this Tapeta.
So I watched it. I don't believe it was that one. It was another one. Okay. This horse has a long stride. He's going to need longer. Okay. He's one of those that needs time to get the wheels going. He doesn't have any early foot.
All right.
Yeah.
Tote board race for sure.
Yes.
Her pick, that one as well. Race number 4, and it's a good card today. It's an optional claimer here on a fast main track, 3-year-olds and up. We're going to have it's a clean field of 6. It marks the return of the second start back of Turbo. Let's show you his return.
Yeah.
Because this was a pretty salty effort.
Yeah, it was huge, and I don't think he was even 100% fit coming into this race. He exceeded expectations.
Yeah, Great Navigator wins the race.
Yeah, Great Navigator wins the race, and he kind of nagged him that last quarter of the race and just tried really hard. I was curious how he would come back to his now 4-year-old career, because obviously there's been some soundness issues in the past with the layoffs.
Turbo ran exactly like a horse that was coming off over a year layoff. He ran like a horse that would need a race. He's got the race now. He's going to be very, very difficult.
He's one that he's going to run out the screen, or he's not going to run at all. Like I just don't see a middling effort with him.
Toxic Gray. Now, Eddie Plesa Jr. is on the precipice of a massive career milestone. 24.99 he's got. So Toxic Gray has got a legitimate chance for his 2500 career win.
So this horse, I know they're going to bet him. I'm going to try to talk everybody off of him. He was actually in the Brian Lynch barn earlier in this championship meet. And when he came back and he started working, which February 23rd was his first breeze, that was with Brian Lynch. That's the only one that is on XBTV. The horse was as big as a house. He just is a huge horse. First off, I think he needs to be gelded. Second off, I just think that I do not see between here and April 1st with only 5 works on the page that, I mean, this horse would have had to have lost maybe 200 pounds, I think. So I don't see it today. I know he's quick on numbers, but just, we'll take a look at him here in the paddock. I just don't think he's going to be fit for this.
Got some talent. Now, he hasn't been out since March of 2023.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's almost like Turbo. He could definitely need a race. I do think they'll bet him. You've got Rohan underneath with absolute grit.
I just think this horse maybe didn't take too well to the Tampa track, honestly, because the number here at Gulfstream on the return was a big one.
Yeah.
And he kind of spun his wheels. It just seemed like he struggled a bit on the Tampa dirt. And you talk about that a lot because you watch a lot of Tampa replays.
Yeah.
That it just, some of them don't really take to it.
Tampa is a track that can be deep, it can be tiring, it can be sandy, and horses that, especially a horse like this that wants to go a little bit, they can spin their wheels over there. You know, we've seen it time and time again. So absolute good. He'll be a square price in here as well. The Turbo's going to bottom out the field, and they're certainly going to bet Toxic Gray as well. So 4 down, 6 to go. Let's take a break here on Gulfstream today. When we come back, that Rainbow 6 with a $175 in the estimated jackpot.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
And welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you. Picture perfect Saturday here at Gulfstream Park. We hope to see you out here. 10 really good races for you as well. In the last 6, of course, the Rainbow 6. We've got the TTP Pick 3 as well. Let's take a look at Ron's Rainbow 6 first. A $175, as I mentioned. $175,000 is your estimated jackpot. Ronnie's all over the place. This is a cool ticket here. Now, you can see in race number 6, he's got the single in there. And I'm going to tell you what, that's a Beastly Speed. That's a good one now for Safi at what could be a little bit of a price. Horse didn't run last time, so we'll see what we get today. His big spread is in race 8. I don't blame him at all. That turf sprint is a tricky one. I actually have my best bet in there, but it is a bold one to say the least. And I know Ronnie's long shot is in the last race, but we're going to use that term very loosely. We're going to call him an average shot because I think they're going to find exercise of power today. That is the 2 coming back, first time gelding for Jimmy Toner. Joe Allen, homebred. There's a $48 Rainbow for Ron. You mentioned to me off the air just a second ago how difficult this TTP Pick 3 is. So let's take a look at your ticket on a bet that has just been phenomenal.
It has been. It's a low 15% takeout. There's no Pick 3s with that low of takeout in the country. This race is tough. I do have the 7 on top. That is Time Song. Race number 8. Just too deep for me. I do have the 10 on top. That's Artemis Sound. And in race number 10, I've got Brian and I's long shot. Money Magician. I like the fact the horse moves in a couple slots with the scratches as well. It's very, very tough. This is one that I didn't I don't have a single here, and that's why it's $54. But hopefully it'll pay well. If it comes in, it'll pay well.
It sure will, and it always has. This is a bet that has been far surpassing the parlay, $3 minimum, and a very low takeout as well, 15%, right? So it's about as good as you're going to get on a pick three. Don't forget regular pick threes now, rolling dollar pick threes here at Gulfstream now as well, and that's a lot of excitement too because I think that's been very well received. All right, we're all over the place. This is a tricky race. There are a couple horses that ran big that we're not sure if they can back it up. Now, Time Song is a first-time Lasix user for George Weaver. I think this horse could be live today.
Yeah, the race at Keeneland, this horse just really exerted himself on the front end, and that was a good turf course there, so it took some starch out of him, I think, and he tracked just a very quick pace setter. That pace setter finished nowhere. This was the only horse that stuck around that day, which I like that, and he tried hard, so now he gets first-time Lasix. You have a Misael Jaramillo. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Keeneland is a tough turf course to wire. We talk about it. You mentioned it earlier. A deeper turf course out here, fast and firm on the turf. This horse could hum early. Yeah. First time for George's Barn. The layoff could be a little worry, but I like the Lasix going on there. I'm on the 4, De La Cruz. I just thought, to me, Samantha, the post is a big deal today. We go so far from the outside to the inside, 12 of 12 that day. And when you debut a horse at a mile and an eighth, that is a big ask. And he didn't run that bad.
No, he didn't. But also, it's a big ask, and isn't it kind of a sign of this horse needs
it's possible.
As long as we can go? And this horse is a half. I know he's a gelding, but he's a half to Proud Spell, who was a Kentucky Oaks winner.
For Brereton Jones, a late Brereton Jones.
Yeah, and the horse debuted on the turf. I don't know.
I don't know, maybe it was just the 2 turns. I was looking for upside. And with one start, that was at least okay.
Yeah.
We're going to get it. I was also looking for a price, too. How about Double Need on the inside? This is an odd horse running in a restricted race at Fairgrounds for Brendan Walsh.
Well, you talk about a course that was extra yielding that day on March 7th. And the horse still tried hard. Now, I feel like has more speed than he showed there, and I think he's going to like this grass course. It seems like he's just going to love the really firm turf course, and he's worked well at Palm Meadows.
We got to talk about the 8 because he is clearly the horse to beat off that last race. A huge number on a trainer switch off the layoff to Lisa Lewis at 41-1. He ran just a really big 4th.
He did, yeah. It was a big 4th. I don't know what to do. And he was against it as well because the rails were at 80 feet that day. The way he ran, he broke very slowly, but the way he ran, you can't make up ground at 80 feet like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Lisa Lewis, if you're not familiar with her, she's done some good work over the years. The stats don't belie that. But, this horse is like 7-5 in this race. If Bill Mott, trained or that kind of thing, because that race just sticks out like a sore thumb. Now, again, it was at 41-1. We'll see if they come back to him or not, but they're going to know he's in there if he's going to run that race right back. Late pick 5 kicks off in race number 6. We're 6.5 on a fast main track here. These are 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2. Practico, big scratch of the 1 because not only was he A, going to be bet, B, he was the lone speed in the race, so it takes that out of the equation. Let's take a look at Samantha's ticket, and then we'll get into the body of this race.
Yeah, we'll get into this in a second. This is my best bet in this race.
Yeah, it was mine too, actually, but I changed it.
Race 7, I do have the 6 on top. 11 makes sense. Race number 8, this is a tricky one, but I do have the 10, Artemis Sound. I added the Wesley Ward horse that draws in my late pick 5. Race 9, I've got the 1, Hi Hello, How Are You? And in the finale, as I mentioned, Brian and I's Long Shot, but I also have Cake's Arrow as well as Gallant Mischief for Mark Cassie.
We got to get 10-1 in that finale.
Yes.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's for sure. As I mentioned, 333 was my initial best bet on the card. I wanted to go a little different direction later on, but it is your best bet. Yeah. So Practico didn't bother me at all. Now, unfortunately, with him coming out, 9-5 is long gone on 333.
Yeah, it is. And now you get the rail, but I'm not too worried about it because this horse ran really well 2 starts back. The last time, though, that was the turbo race. Forget about that. Yeah, I mean, the horse, there was no prayer in that. No. At least he beat one horse home.
Yeah, he's not playing with a group like that, but he is with some friends today, and I don't think they're going to like him very much, actually, after the race because because he's going to be tough. Southern Dream should be a price, and he ran okay last time, and I think you mentioned the rail. I think getting off the rail is going to help him.
Yeah, exactly. And this horse is fresh coming into the race, too.
Yeah, second, and that was his first start against winners last time, too, so don't think he didn't run all that well in that spot. Late pick 4 kicks off in race 7. We'll go 5 on the Tapeta. These are fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. We've got a scratch of the 2 Streaking Gray. Let's take a look at my late 4 ticket before we get into this race.
Oh, my God.
There we go. How about that? 350. But, in the long shot in the last race is the 12. We talk about this a lot. And I've given out $48 late pick 4s. It's just sometimes it's what's in front of you.
You're exactly right.
And I have a best bet in race 8, okay? So that's why that's singled there. But you can punch this 4 or 5 times. Or, you put B tickets together where you spread a little bit aside from the singles. And that's what you kind of have to do. And sometimes I think as handicappers, you'll take what the card gives you, and if it's a strong favorite, so be it. Try to make some money that way, because I wasn't looking to beat. We can get to this race now. I wasn't looking to beat the 6 in here. Love and Makes Sense. We'll take a look at your picks, and again, we're 5 on the Tapeta here in race number 7. Streaking Gray was somewhat of a player, but you've got the same horse, and Love and Makes Sense is we talk about back with friends. Well, she's with her friends today.
Yeah, she big time is.
Right?
The race 2 starts back. It was way better for the 25, and that was open. This horse just looks like she's goodbye.
Yeah, and right, in the 2 races for a tag, the figures would just bottom this field out, and that's where we're going there, and that's why she's a single. It is what it is. Amori with Control. I didn't know what to make of her on the class rise off the voided claim, and
that's tough. Maybe if anything, some speed.
She's got speed.
Yeah,
yeah. Down inside too, 6 feet apart does too, and I think the flow of the race flatters the heavy favorite as well. Now race 8, it's a really good one. I'm looking forward to this one. It's my best bet. It's a bold one. We're 5 on the turf here. It's an optional claimer. These are just for the 3-year-old fillies. Couple scratches. The 1 Gravette is out. The 3 Scorpia is out. The 14, 15, 16, the AEs are out, but the 13, Song of Norway, is going to draw in and run for Wesley Ward, and that's a horse that we'll talk about because she will take plenty of money. I don't like her, but we'll talk about her.
Yeah.
We'll start with you, though, with Artemis Sound, and we're going to show the replay of Artemis Sound and Beanpot. This is 2 back on the turf.
Yeah, I think we could probably lump talking about these 2 together now. Beanpot, the 2 horse in this spot, just did all of the work here. Artemis Sound, you see, look at the rails there. It's at 80 feet that day. This horse made up some ground, ran well. Beanpot had already, Beanpot, I felt like just got the best of it that day. Artemis Sound, this horse has a stalking gear. Now, to win next time out, it was a wire job on the Tapeta, but that doesn't bother me too much because I think this horse is a little more 2 or 3 dimensional, whereas Beanpot, I think the way to victory is forward.
I agree. And now the scratches kind of helped Beanpot a little bit. There was some heat that came out of this race. Gravette would have had to go from down on the inside. Kamichi is my best bet of the day, the 7. She had a trip 2 back. I love what Fausto Gutierrez did. She was entered a couple weeks ago in a race that unfortunately washed off the turf, and he said, nope, I'm waiting, and waiting's today. And she is a horse that is going to be closer early. She had a tough trip 2 back where she lost key position early on, and she's going to, much like Artemis Sound, she's going to be right close, I think, off the splits.
I had her pick 2nd, and I switched some things around this morning with the scratches because I just worry, and I like what you did here because this is so sharp. There's going to be a lot of heavy hitting up front. I just worry about this grass course. I don't know. It's a lot different than it was on January 10th.
Yeah.
That's what worries me.
But I think she's going to be closer today.
Yeah,
now, and she's going to be a price. She's been 30, 41, and 68 in her last 3 starts. I had her at 8. I moved her to 6. We'll see what we get today, but she's going to offer value, to be sure. We mentioned Beanpot. I want you to talk about the 13, Song of Norway. I know the turf race was big back in August at Ellis.
It was, but that was at Ellis, so read into that what you will. At least the horse got a tightener out of the way at Turfway. The numbers are the same kind of as the rest of this field here. If you just look at the sheets, I think that's significant. Patrick Husbands will ride here. They'll probably bet this horse. I think they will overbet this horse. Let me say that. Yeah.
Agree.
Yep.
She's She's the favorite on the line, and they're going to. I just didn't like the comeback race. I know it was on the Topeka Turfway, but she was 7-5 in the race. We know how prolific Wesley Ward is off the layoff, and in Kentucky for that matter.
Yeah.
So I don't know. She was a little bit of a fade for me, and I know you've got her further down as well. Race number 9 now. We'll go 6 furlongs on a fast main track. It's another optional claimer here. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. We have a couple scratches. The 4, Amy the Butcher. In the 6, Martha May Huvier is out of here. It's tough to get by. Hi, hello, how are you? Unfortunately, at a short number. Let's show her the race with Olga, because they went at it last time, kind of.
Yeah, they did. Well, Olga, too, starts back, ran a huge race that could win a spot like this. But last time out, I think it's kind of adding up for her. Hi, hello, how are you? Ran 3 different races at Tampa before coming back here. I feel like she likes this course a lot more. Probably we talk about Tampa again. She ran really well here. Very, very well. She looked like a winner. Now, Ganesh, I don't know where this race came from at the wire. Like geared down. I don't know where that came from, but hi, hello, are you is tough.
Yeah. Now, Olga, I will say this about Olga, and it's right there in your form. Good, bad, good, bad. Well, it's supposed to be good Olga today, so we'll see. This is 4 good Olga. 4 times in a row now she's done this. So the Arundel Homebred, she's got a consistency problem, but it seems like, in between starts she fires. So that's that. I just can't believe in Adios's Babe's race. I'm sorry, I don't know where it came from.
I have no idea if she runs it the same again. It was not. I felt like it was not a strong group. Not like this. I see what if you're beating Awesome Anne Marie. I'm sorry.
Right. Now, at least to her credit, she drubbed that field with a huge number.
It was huge, but I got to see it again.
I couldn't agree with you more. And she's not a play against, but I want to back it up, and she's going to get bet. She's going to be she should be a strong second choice in that race. Yeah. So maybe the value tries to come by splitting her, and that's what I did at least. A good one in the finale. Boy, I can't wait for that. It's a maiden special weight on the turf. We'll go 7.5 here. These are 3 and up. We do have a long shot scratch of the 1 Mo Go in the 11 last run. That's not going to affect anything. They were not players. This is a good group. And we both found the same long shot, Money Magician, who just had a rough go of it on debut.
Yeah, and this horse on debut, I had put in my notes that this horse just has that high knee action, comes right off the bridle like a grass horse does, and looked more turfy. The dam ran 4 on the sheets on the grass course. Was
all turf.
Yeah, all turf. They got the tightener out of the belt. Yeah, I know you mentioned that it was a lot of trouble, and it doesn't really matter how much trouble he got in if he's a grass horse.
Yeah, the only thing that bugs me a little bit, and maybe if he's just a grass horse, it doesn't matter. I think now in hindsight, the Top Connor race that a lot of people were gaga over, I don't know if it was very good anymore. He ran okay in the bluegrass. He set the pace. He was kind of thrown to the wolves there. But Military Road is... he's just a disappointer.
Yeah, he is a bit disappointing. Honest. Yep, I agree. But they're fast figures. So
they're fast figures, and again, this is now on turf, so maybe it just doesn't really matter that much anymore. Let's bring up the replay of the 4, Cakes Arrow and Fly Right, who's the 3, because they went at it last time. Here's Cakes Arrow now with a massive form reversal on the stretch with a huge figure.
Oh, yeah. And you liked pork rolls that day, didn't you? Yeah. This horse set the lead the whole time, ran huge on the front end. The 9 Fly Right, she's going to be the 3 in our race. Don't stop betting her. Yeah. I'm tried her so many times. I'm done with her now. This horse ran huge though, and Mike Matz doesn't win first time out. He stretched her out, and she's got a lot of talent.
Well, no doubt about it. That is clearly the race to beat. Now she was 20-1 that day. She added Lasix. You can see how tenacious she was.
Yeah.
She did everything but win, and she ran a winning race. Ronnie's long shot is the 2, Exercise of Power, but they're going to find this horse today because it's Jimmy Toner on the stretch as a first-time gelding, and I love this post for this trip.
Yeah, this helps. This is kind of a little handier horse. I like the fact that they gelded him. I worry maybe this might be stretching him too far. Like maybe he'd be like a middling, like 6.5 type of horse. Maybe.
What's going on with Gallant Mischief, because he's been dreadful in 2 starts.
Yeah, he has, but he's a huge colt. Like, I think he's going to absolutely love the 2 turns here. You just have to ignore the past 2 races because he needed the race first off, and second off, I just think he needs 2 turns.
Okay, maybe that's going to wake him up a little bit. He has not shown anything, but he is an into mischief, quiet American on the bottom. We need to mention, and we need to be fair, that I know there's been 2 scratches in this race, but our horse you can't make up a worse post position.
No, that's true. And
not good.
We talked like we move in 2 spots, which is a good thing. The rails are at 24 feet.
Right.
That helps a lot.
Right.
And a lot.
You know who else helps a lot is Miguel Vasquez, who's off to an absolutely prolific start to the Royal Palm meet, and that's good to see. Former champion jockey here. So this is a really good race.
Yeah.
Todd Pletcher's got another firster for Rapoli and Vinny Viola with the City of Light horse. They paid $1 million for. Did you see anything there? Storm ready?
There was a work on the 19th of January, and he worked like he was going to fall down.
Okay.
But on February 23rd, he worked really good and galloped out huge. So I don't know what to make of him. If there were more consistent works I could see, maybe I could get more heads or tails. But just of the 2 that were up there, it was like Jekyll and Hyde. It looked like 2 different horses.
My gotcha. The 6 Sentenza ran really well for Dante Zanelli, who had a win at the championship meet. The good news is Samantha will be on the scale house to give these horses a look as we draw in on post time for the finale, which will be in the area of 5:51 in the p.m. Take a look at the lightning round because a couple of our stars are at Keeneland. It's a big one. A couple of our stars are at Keeneland today, and you can see it right there. Last chance. They're all in with Hades in the Lexington today, and he will he will make the field if he wins this race.
This is him in the Holy Bull. He put away Fierceness. He put away everybody. I think he's much better than he showed in the Florida Derby. He's got to win today. I hope he does for the connections, of course, and for Joe Orsino, especially. But this is a Hail Mary, and he's coming off, short rest. But some horses, I feel like Jonathan Green, DJ Sable said it best. They say, you run your horses too much or you run them not enough.
Right.
They think that this is what's best for the horse, and Joe Orsino always puts the horse first. We'll see how it goes.
Short stretch finish line in the Lexington, too, and I will be betting with both hands on Hades today. I promise you that. Yeah, you can't lose. No. Didia, now, who won our Pegasus Filly and Mare Turf, is up there in the Grade 1 Jenny Wiley looking to back that up, and she was really game on a really crafty ride here from Jose Ortiz, too.
Yeah, and they've given her time from there. This was her last race. This was it right here. It was a huge effort. I'm just looking at the sheet numbers. It didn't come back as quickly as I thought, and I know we've talked about this race. How strong was it? We don't know.
I will not be playing.
I will not either. Yeah, the number came back very slow. If you're a sheet person, I don't think a lot of people will be playing her, to be honest.
No, she took advantage of an advantageous set of circumstances that day. But hey, you saw her right there.
That was all you needed.
That was all you needed in one of our signature races of the championship meet. And it's great to see those kind of horses go on elsewhere in big spots. TTP pick 3 today. You mentioned how tough it is, and I'm with you there.
Yeah, this is tough. You saw it. I've got a $54 ticket.
Yeah.
It's impossible. I could put $200 in it.
Sure.
And I think it'll pay triple that, honestly.
It's going to be a big number today. I don't see any way it's not with those 3 races that they've got on tap, and what a card we have today. Your best bet?
333.
333. All right. I am in that TTP pick 3 in race number 8 with
Good for you,
Kamichi. I know how to say it. I always have to think about it. But Kamichi in race 8, and we have the same long shot. Now I'm just worried where the horse going to open up at about 5-2 or something. Money Magician better be a price, though. I'm going to say that.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
It should be.
All right. I feel like we've been on here forever, but we sent it up to Pete right about on time. He's up there with the scratches and the changes. We got